A king wanted to unite 12 villages into one kingdom. His ministers had a brilliant idea. Let's make every village exactly the same. Same language, same dress, same festival, same rules. At first, it sounded like unity, but within months, people began protesting. The mountain villagers said, "Our problems are different." The fishermen said, "Our lives depend on the sea." The tribal communities asked, "What about our traditions?" The people of the desert wondered, "How can one rule fit every landscape?" Finally, the king called his wisest advisor. The advisor smiled and said, "Unity doesn't mean making everyone identical. It means giving everyone a reason to stay together." That single sentence explains one of the most beautiful ideas in the Indian Constitution, Article 371. When people hear about special provisions in the Constitution, they often think, why should some states get special treatment? It's a fair question, but the answer lies in India's extraordinary diversity. India is not just one country. It is home to hundreds of languages, thousands of communities, different histories, different cultures, different geographical conditions, and different developmental challenges. Imagine giving the same pair of shoes to every person in India. Would they all fit? Of course not. A child needs a different size than an adult. A mountaineer needs different shoes than a farmer. Equality is not always about giving everyone the same thing. Sometimes it means giving people what they actually need. That is exactly what Article 371 tries to achieve. Let's travel back in time. When India became independent, integrating hundreds of princely states was only the beginning. Many regions had unique historical agreements. Some had tribal customs that existed long before modern laws. Some were geographically isolated. Others feared that joining the Indian Union might gradually erase their identity. The Constitution's makers faced a difficult question: how do you build one nation without destroying local identities? Their answer was remarkable. Instead of forcing uniformity, they chose accommodation. Article 371 and its various clauses, which includes 371A, 371B, 371C, all the way up to 371J, provide special constitutional provisions for different states based on their unique circumstances. Notice something important. These provisions are not identical. Each one solves a different problem. Let's take Nagaland. The people have deeply rooted customary laws and traditional social practices. Article 371A protects these customs. Even Parliament cannot automatically apply laws relating to Naga religious practices, customary law, civil and criminal justice based on customary traditions, and ownership of land and its resources unless the state legislative assembly decides so. Now travel to Maharashtra and Gujarat. Here, Article 371 allows for separate development boards to ensure balanced regional development in historically less developed areas. The challenge here is not tribal customs, it is regional inequality. Different state, different solution. Now visit Andhra Pradesh. Historically, concerns existed over equitable opportunities in public employment and education across different regions. Special constitutional arrangements evolved to address such regional aspirations. Again, the constitution adapts. One constitution, different solutions. Why? Because the problems are different. Think of a doctor. 10 patients walk into the clinic. Does the doctor prescribe the same medicine to everyone? Never. A diabetic patient needs one treatment, a heart patient needs another, a child receives a different dosage than an adult. The doctor's goal is the same for everyone, good health, but the treatment varies. India's constitution follows the same philosophy. Its goal is national unity, its methods sometimes differ. Now, here is where many people become confused. They think these special provisions divide India. In reality, they were designed to prevent division. Imagine telling a tribal community, forget your traditions, or telling a remote hill region, your geographical challenges doesn't matter. Would they strengthen unity? Probably not. People protect what they feel respected within. By recognizing local identities, the Constitution gives people confidence that they can remain proudly local while also being proudly Indian. This is called cooperative and accommodative federalism, unity through respect, not uniformity. Of course, debates continue. Some argue that special provisions should gradually disappear as development becomes more balanced. Others believe they remain essential for protecting vulnerable cultures and addressing historical realities. Both sides raise important constitutional questions, and that is the beauty of Indian democracy. The conservation continues, but one principle remains constant. India's diversity is not seen as a problem to eliminate, it is seen as a strength to preserve. So, the next time you hear Article 371, don't think of it as a collection of complicated legal clauses. Think of that wise advisor standing before the king. He understood something timeless. A nation becomes stronger, not when every voice sounds the same, but when different voices choose to sing the same national song. That is the genius of the Indian Constitution. It doesn't ask diversity to disappear, it gives diversity a constitutional home. And in doing so, it keeps the Union stronger than ever.